Version of the Business Renovator. Coach Phil here today. As always, I would like to start off with a quote from Customer Delight. So let me get to the page I wanted to share with you guys today. So today it's Ian McLaren is the originator of the quote, and what he says here is, be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. So in other words, we really don't know what's going on in people's lives, so why not treat them with kindness? My buddy Brian, who's the author of this book, Brian Monahan, his take on this is, I think it's easy to dismiss our customers, not because we don't care, but because we get into ruts. If we aren't awake to our customers, they can become transactions. We all have challenges, which means our customers do too. You may never know how you make a difference in someone's life, but if you start to give your customers the benefit of the doubt by providing them with delight they deserve, you'll change lives. Sometimes you might even hear about it. Sometimes you might get a gushing thank you. Trust and be kind. That's great food for thought again, Brian. Book 2 is on its way. It'll be available sometime, I think, ready for Christmas. I think if Brian's got his dream come true. So today I wanted to carry on with the theme of masterminds, and I might be repeating some things, but one of the things I wanted to do was let me put this up. I forgot to put this in the banners. Hang on, Megamind. I'm not sure why there's a play button. That's interesting. I'll have to check with my technician, Bruce. He's actually helping a lot of people with their videos. So when I get off of here, I'll do that. I'll use the Mastermind principle to make that happen. So why did I put hashtag Megamind up here? Well, that's a group that was formed as a result of COVID-19. You know, when things change, you can do one of two things: hunker down and batten up the hatches and hope whatever adversity is facing you goes away, or you can be proactive and do something different than what you did before and adjust your sails to catch the wind to take you to your port, metaphorically speaking. So I've done that, and where I've done that was I was invited into this particular group, Megamind, and what I wanted to bring that up for is part 2 of Mastermind today is to talk about the great people. Some of those people are here. One for sure. Bruce liked the quote by Brian. I met Brian, the author of the book, in Megaminds. I met Bruce a little bit before I was invited into Megaminds, but it was the Mastermind and doing something different that we were doing before we met each other. And as a result of that, we've elevated our games by I would say tenfold. I don't really have metrics to do the math. That's a gut reaction, best feeling. Paul Hickie, I would never have met him, I don't think. I mean, he was one of the opposition football players with a couple of teams that went to play against the team I'm a fan of. Why would I like him? Well, I like him because he's a great guy, but I may never have had the opportunity to meet him if I hadn't have joined, changed and altered and followed the Mastermind principle. I was looking for the right kind of people to hang out with, and so I've been able to do that. Here's another gentleman here. I'm breaking the trend that Bruce suggested I do today because I want to honor the people that are in here, because part 2's Mastermind is about expanding who you know, and more importantly, who knows you. As a result of having masterminds, all sorts of things can come out of that. I know the Megaminders, some of them were able to get together in Kansas City and have a live in-person event where they were able to mastermind, have some fun, both professionally and socially. Got to know each other. And matter of fact, one of these fellows is right here, Tim Lord. He was there at Kansas City. He could probably tell us it was a great time over and over and over. The feedback I've heard because of the Mastermind philosophy and getting people together is that things generally get better. You've got somebody to kick you in the attitude. You've got other people to run ideas past. You've got people to push information out and share your message to support you along the way. I'm going to go back up to the first person that popped in today. Good morning, Ron. As a result of hanging out in a group where we get together, and not a formal mastermind where we've got rules, regulations, guidelines, however you want to do it. It's not structured that way. But I met Ron in another group where it's kind of where I sort of met most of the others. But you get to know people and get to know their stories. And maybe you can do something business-wise. Maybe you've made a new friend. Maybe you just get a great idea. And look at that. You could have Shark Chaffee on your team, which I do. I'm fortunate to be on the same team as the Shark Man. And Tim's saying, yes, absolutely. The Kansas City event was a massive success. So part two of the mastermind thing that helped me is because of the people and the networks we all have, we can elevate ourselves. I'm talking on October 22nd to a group of business owners in the state of Georgia. There's about 500 members, but I don't know if 500 will be online. Live streaming and technology has made the world smaller. And how I got into this opportunity to speak was through a mastermind with an associate of mine that I've known for 10 years. He lives in Atlanta, and he was the one who is the contact for this group. And through the mastermind principle with myself and a few other people, we put together a group to support his client base there. And most of us are all over North America and sharing our insight, knowledge, and providing value to that particular group. At some point in time, maybe somebody will hear something they like and they want more from us. Awesome. It's brilliant. But to the point I want to get to in terms of mastermind, if I could find the banner that I wanted to put up here. This idea was inspired by being on another live stream as an attendee in view only mode. I guess it's in text, so I could comment. And it was originally posted as, yes, you expect sales. And that's a pretty cool thing to expect. I wanted to take it somewhere bigger, wider, and broader. And I got this out of that. I was inspired. You expect success. So what you can do in a mastermind group is to leverage the power of other people's knowledge, their failures, their successes. In some cases, maybe they can introduce you to people that have money, so you can leverage all those things. And there's a few other things that you can leverage as well. If you're not hanging out and talking to people on a regular basis, that've got your back, that can be brutally honest with you, then you're doing yourself a disservice, as well as you're not serving the community that you could be serving in the best possible fashion, in my opinion. Of course, you guys can all say I'm full of crap, but I think many of you would support a lot of what I'm suggesting, because I've learned it and experienced it from many of the people that are in here today. So masterminds. It's one of the laws that's written in the book, great book that was done by Napoleon Hill. He researched 500 people, 500 successful Americans, to see what the keys were to success. And there's more than one. Knowing where you want to go, major definite purpose, burning desire, those are important aspects. Then how do you get there? And one of the hows is to form a mastermind. And a mastermind could be two people talking about something and coming up with a better answer and response. So the reason I'm speaking in Georgia is partly because of the mastermind networking and connection. But I got kicked in the attitude by another associate of mine. My language to myself was not as powerful as what you would need to do some things that would get you to say yes. And I was telling him how I really don't like writing. I'm not a good writer. And I was talking myself out of it. So he gave me an example of his daughter, who is having the same kind of self-talk in her experience the other day. She was asked by her teachers to write a poem. And she just said, well, I don't know how to write poems. Dad, would you help me? And he wouldn't let her get off the hook. He says, you start it, and I'll help you edit and explore it. So they were masterminding to get the poem done. But he was being a real good dad and real good coach. He didn't belittle her. He challenged her to give it a go first. And he was sharing this story because it was a coaching moment for him, actually. And as a result of him sharing the story, she ended up working on the poem, got her mom to help her, not write the poem, but some feedback and whatnot. And the end result of the story, which, according to my buddy, was this young gal who's 13 years old, who says she's not very good at writing poetry, submitted it and got a mark on it. It was out of 10. And guess what she got? She got a 10. So that smacked me right in the side of the head. And I said, yes, I appreciate the lesson. And it kicked me in the attitude. And I had made a promise and a commitment to my buddy in Atlanta. And he said, the first person that gets me the copy will get the speaking gig. And so I had said yes to expect success, but then I allowed my monkey brain to kick in and try and talk me out of it, until I talked to Ben, my good friend of mine, who told me the story about his daughter. And I realized what he was telling me without telling me what he was telling me. So I changed my thinking, and 15 minutes later, I had a draft, put it together, sent it to my buddy in Atlanta. We got on a phone call, tweaked it a little bit, boom, I'm presenting to that group around the marketing formula. So I know I've talked a bit about this the other day, but I just want to let you know that I'm so enthusiastic about the power of masterminds that I wanted to share one more little ditty about it today. And what's Paul saying here? Kicked in the attitude, absolutely. That's what I needed the other day. Yes, I'm a coach, but I'm a human and I have weaknesses. Yes, I do. Absolutely do. Do I make mistakes? Yes, I do. Anyway, that's enough for me. This fellow here is probably the mega minder of all of us in the Megamind. It was actually his initiative that got the group together and set up some of the ideas and guidelines on how to make it different. And he's really helped us do things with video and audio, actually. Instead of just texting, he's encouraged all of us to do live streaming, video when we communicate with each other. Texting is okay, but why not push the record button and send a vocal message? Matter of fact, Eric, I am connected to your son. I did what you asked. I sent him a little love. He sent me an interesting quote around Darren Hardy, and then he sent me a voicemail. So I have a new friend on LinkedIn, a new connection as a result of hanging out with people like Eric. So that's it. I'm going to be back on later today with one of my friends and associates from England, and we're going to talk about the questions and how the questions are the answers, aren't they? Hey, if you can't make it to the next one, that's okay. I totally understand it. We all have busy lives and people to serve. I appreciate you all for showing up here, whether it's live right now today with me, or if it's later on in the replay. I believe you go #replay and respond to this. If you like what you're hearing here and you want to share this out with your community, greatly appreciate it. The Business Renovator is here to help small to medium-sized businesses really thrive in any situation, because my opinion and my associates' opinion is that the backbone to any of our countries is small businesses. Without the small business, we're in trouble. Yeah, there it is. Yes, and I told him that you're a proud dad too, buddy, because I've heard you. I know you're proud. Yeah, it's fun getting to know everybody a little bit better. Again, Business Renovator, if there's anything I can do for you, if you have a question, or if you're looking for an answer to something, send me a note to phil@coachphil.ca, which is right up here, and I'll address it. And if you want to hear some more today, at the top of the hour, we'll be here at the same place, just a different person and a different topic. I do really appreciate everybody that's here and for all your support, for kicking me in the attitude. And if there's anything I could do, if you ever need a kick in the attitude or a high five, let me know. To your success.